Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Brandon from USF1. Sorry for the late video. I've been having some back problems lately, but I'm here now, and so yeah. Before I start, I want you to guys put in the comments below who was your driver of the day for the Japanese Grand Prix. But let's get into it. I'm gonna try to make this kind of short because to be honest, not a whole lot happened racing-wise when it comes to Japan, just because the one line stuff. Lewis Hamilton broke the track record overall with his lap in qualifying, which is great for him. And then, of course, I was looking forward to the Lewis Hamilton Sebastian Vettel battle throughout all of Japan, but Lewis Hamilton ended up having an easy win once Vettel on lap 1 ended up losing power in his car and ended up having to come to the pits, which basically spelled the end for his day. And that just broke a lot of Ferrari fans' hearts, and Kimi didn't come anywhere near the race leaders or anything like that. So Lewis just basically was handed the win. I thought Max Verstappen was gonna catch Lewis just like in last week in Malaysia. See like a good battle going up against Lewis, but Max just couldn't pull off the maneuver, and he was nowhere near close to Lewis by the end of the day. And well, on the final lap, they ended up running into traffic, and Alonso got a penalty and stuff. While Max Verstappen was trying to catch him, and Lewis ended up losing a little bit of ground to Max, but ultimately Max had no chance of actually catching him at the end of that lap. Anyway, so Lewis ended up getting the win. Congratulations to Lewis. He now has a 59-point lead over Vettel going into the United States Grand Prix. So there is a possible chance, I guess, like if Lewis wins this next race and Vettel doesn't finish again, it's over. But in 2 races' time, it could be clinched if Lewis gets both race wins and Vettel doesn't get that many points at all. There was some driver incidents in this race today. On Sunday or Saturday night, whatever. It's kind of weird, being in Japan and stuff. But Toro Rosso, Carlos Sainz's final drive with them, he ended up spinning out with early in the race. He's trying to go and gain some positions for his team, but he said he ended up encountering some dust on the outside of the track, on the outside line of the track, which he was not expecting, and he ended up spinning out and just lost control. We already went over Vettel. Ericsson had a problem with his car, but Sauber always comes last anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Hulkenberg ended up having a DRS. It was kind of like a weird problem. He was actually coming up on Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen, who were both stuck behind Massa at the time. And Hulkenberg just got out of the pits, and he ended up getting DRS on Grosjean. He actually gained some speed. It looked like he was about to pass him, and then all of a sudden Hulkenberg's DRS stayed open. His flap stayed open. It looked like I don't know. They said like his wing in general wasn't straight, so therefore the flap wouldn't close back down. But then like the top part of the DRS of his back wing was like coming up. They can just pick it up with their hands, so I don't know what exactly went wrong. Hopefully Hulkenberg will have a better result in the United States Grand Prix. And then Lance Stroll for the final DNFs ended up, I don't know what turn it was, but he went in like 88 miles an hour, created a bunch of sparks. His like rear rim, his right front rim like basically failed on him and made the tire pop from the inside. And he had like no steering whatsoever. He went straight across the gravel trap, missed a wall, missed slamming into a wall, and they ended up just walking away at the end of the day. And he got kind of lucky, and unfortunate for Williams, but Stroll ended up walking away from that crash. And then honestly, like before I even get into it, it is Palmer's last final race for Renault. He ended up coming P12, so ultimately he did beat Hulkenberg, in his final race. He was plus 1 lap down, but he did finish P12 outside of the points, but he will no longer be in Formula 1 as of this year unless he picks up a drive somehow next year with someone else. But I highly doubt that because everyone's contracts are kind of still set in stone. Bottas, I guess that package ended up not working very well for Mercedes, and he ended up coming P4. I don't know what exactly was said, but Nico Rosberg took a jab at Valtteri Bottas, and I guess I would do that too if I'm the defending champion and someone who took your seat, but whatever. And Daniel Ricciardo ended up having a his ninth podium of the year, which is great for him. It makes most in one season of all time for him, and the season's not even done yet, so he has a possibility of getting even more and eclipsing that record as well. And as you guys already know, Kimi came in P5 again Didn't really put too much of a fight. He was 32 seconds behind. Ocon was actually running P3 for a lot of the race, and he ended up coming P6. And Sergio Perez kept his nose clean and ended up P7. And then Madison and Grosjean, both the Haas guys, could have a double points finish, P8 and P9. They were kind of held up by Massa for a while because he couldn't get around him. But great for Madison and Grosjean going into the United States Grand Prix with a double points finish. Hopefully they can put like a chassis upgrade or an aero upgrade, because overall you need a better result in United States than you really do Japan in front of your own fans. Just saying. And then Massa rounded out the top points finishers in P10 for Williams. He was the first of the lapped cars going on. And then of course you guys already know Alonso got a penalty for holding up Hamilton on the final lap, even though he didn't really have anywhere to go. But I guess Charlie decided that he impeded Hamilton a little bit too much and ignored the blue flags. Didn't slow up and let him over enough. But yeah, and then Pierre Gasly, his new teammate, may or may not be Daniel Kvyat for United States Grand Prix for Toro Rosso, but Pierre Gasly ended up coming P13 and was one lap down. And then Stoffel Van Dorn, he couldn't get that McLaren to P7 this time. He ended up coming P14 and one lap down. Unfortunate for him, he had two. It almost seems like everyone who did 2 or 3 stops was kind of screwed. And then Verline was 2 points, 2 laps down. He had 3 pit stops, and he ended up coming P15 in a very, very uncompetitive Sauber. But yeah, guys, who do you guys think is the driver of the day? I would actually have to say it would be Esteban Ocon. He put that car in a great drive. Also could be Daniel Ricciardo. Did you guys see the podium antics by Daniel Ricciardo? Lewis Hamilton left his phone open and he just made a bunch of video. He made an Instagram account, like an Instagram post, I guess. I don't have an Instagram, so I don't really that knowledgeable about it, but he made an Instagram post and started posting a bunch of pictures and video of himself on Lewis's phone. I saw a video of it. It was quite hilarious. And, Daniel is always, a character. And it's always amusing to see Daniel, what he's going to do, especially on a podium. And, he just made all those funny faces. And I guess that's what Australians do, is they just like to have fun. And I love it. And, great drive for Daniel Ricciardo. Great drive for Max Verstappen and Hamilton alike. So, great drive for them. Great drive for Red Bull. Maybe Red Bull can get some top-end speed next year. You never know. But, yeah, guys, that's Brandon. I'm Brandon from USF1. Subscribe if you're new. Slap that like button. Sorry for the late video, but shit happens. Yeah, I hope I kept it short enough for you guys. I'll talk to you later. United States Grand Prix is next week. I'm very looking forward to it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to it. That's a long way away. It's like 1,000 miles away. But I don't have a vacation or anything for it, so won't be there. But I'll be covering it. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon from USF1. Peace.